Hey everybody, this is going to be a video that's going to cover how to organize and upload your content for assignment 3 to DC Connect for submission. So let's kind of jump right in. Right now I have the project folder open that I supplied you all with a few weeks ago to help organize and submit your work. Let's quickly just review what's in these folders. From the client folder, you'll have the brief that I would like you to use to fill out for this assignment, as well as the brand board that should tell you things like the correct colors, typefaces, and logos that you can use. Under assets, this will be any sort of visual asset that you used in the creation of your artwork before you've manipulated it in Adobe Photoshop or Illustrator or InDesign, something like that. You'll also see that you have the two logos there to use. In technical files, you might have the logo here. I might have just left that in there from something else, but you should also have these mockups. These are the technical files to help build those 3 different mockups that we need. And then when we go into exports, this should be empty. This is where you're going to place the final versions of your artwork. And then finally, MISC. This also might be empty. It depends if you use it. You could have things like mood boards, or if you made an empathy map or a brainstorm or a mind map or something like that, you might want to put those things in there. It's up to you. Anyways, I've kind of used this as like a catch-all for all of my assets for this project because I thought I'd organize everything at the very end. So let's take a look at how we organize this. The first thing we can look at are technical files. This is because they're pretty easy to find. Any Adobe Illustrator or InDesign or Photoshop document can just get thrown right under technical files. That's what they're there for. Next up is going to be the exports. So what is it? What is an export? What do we put in here? An export is basically anything that you exported from Adobe Illustrator or InDesign. It's kind of like your final artworks. It could also be the final mockups of your ads in action, right? So for me, these are all just different JPEGs, and I'm simply going to put them all under export, just like that. This last file here, this is the city street background that we used previously. So I'm just going to throw that under assets because it was an asset that we used to create our artwork. One thing that I want to really hammer home about how you organize things is how you label things. The client in this case is Airbnb. So Airbnb should be at the start of every file. It helps to keep things organized. Next up should be the format. So billboard, transit poster, TTC streetcar wrap. That way it's very easy to identify what this file type is going to be. And then finally, this is the sort of tag that was exported from Illustrator, CMYK final. That at least tells me that this is the final flat artwork, whereas the word mockup tells me that this is going to be the mockup itself. It is super important that you keep things organized like this, not only for yourself, if you have to go back and look at a project in a year or so, which does happen in agencies, it'll be much easier for you to remember what's going on if things are labeled correctly. But also, if you have to collaborate in a team environment and there are multiple people working on the same project, or who you have to hand this project over to, it is crucial to keep your things nice and organized in terms of labeling. So yeah, quickly just going and looking in the technical files, looks like we got everything. I have my mockups, which is excellent. My assets are all organized, and I would have a complete and filled out campaign brief. That's everything. From here, all you have to do is go to desktop or find where your folder is, right click on a PC, send to compressed zip folder, or on a Mac, you can just right click and hit compress, and it'll do the same thing. When you have your compressed zip folder, upload it to DC Connect. If your folder is a little bit too large and DC Connect rejects it, I think there might be a file size limit. Let me know and we can figure out how to mitigate that for you. We might just have to upload it to OneDrive and then have you share a link to OneDrive that way. But we'll cross that bridge in class if we get to it. Anyways, I hope you all found this helpful, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you come up with.